Hey guys. Okay, so today I'm actually, this is not a TTC video, and it's taken me quite a while to put this together. I've been back and forth, and there's a lot of things I want to say, so I'm sorry if it's long, but I wanted to do this video for two reasons. One, to get a little more personal with you guys, kind of let you know a little bit more about me, and also to address a serious issue such as bullying. Plus I know that people are probably wondering, so might as well just let it all out. So I was born with a left facial paralysis. That is where we're at right now. We went to a lot of doctors, and no one was really sure exactly what was wrong. Kind of like how stroke patients will have one side of their face paralyzed. They were thinking that, possibly nerve damage due to forceps, but that didn't make sense because I was not a forceps baby. But in 1987, when I was, I guess, about 3 years old, my mom took me to a doctor who did a EMG and a CT scan. And basically what they found out was that I was not born with the 7th cranial nerve on my left side. So just a quick little medical lesson, I guess. If you don't know, nerves, are connected to the muscles, and the brain sends the message to your nerve to move the muscles, and that's kind of how your body works. So I did not have the main nerve on my left side. When I was 14, my mom told me about this doctor in Canada, actually. His name was Dr. Zucker, and he had pioneered a surgery that would not really correct a facial paralysis, but help as far as movement and stuff like that. And they felt that, my parents felt that at that point I was old enough to make that decision. They wanted to make sure it was something that I wanted to do, and I did. I definitely did. I said yes immediately. I was very excited. Now, I think I'm still happy that I did it, but I was very naive. I guess I went in there thinking that I would come out and I would just look different, and that everything would be even and it would just be great. Obviously, that didn't happen, but I'm very happy with the results. I've had great results, mainly with the mouth. The surgery didn't do anything for the eye, but it was a very interesting surgery. So we went to Canada for the first time when I was 14. He took a nerve out of my leg. It actually ran from the top of my calf all the way down to the ankle. He took one of those nerves and he put it in my face and connected it to the right nerve. So basically it was kind of like this, and connected it. And went back for a year basically to let it get used to its new environment, so that the body, making sure the body wasn't going to reject it. So a year later, it was time to go back to Canada, and we had a muscle transplant at that point. Now, I was born with muscle, but without having a nerve, the muscle had all atrophied. It was just no good. So he took a muscle from my thigh, also my left thigh, and he connected that muscle to the nerve. I don't know, I just think it's really cool. It's just so neat what doctors can do. I do have a lot more movement in my mouth now. It used to be this side just didn't really move. So I'm happy. I'm happy with the results. I really am. Okay, and I had to write all this down because there was a lot I wanted to cover, and I tend to ramble. So when that surgery was over, the day I was supposed to go home, probably should have known something was wrong because my face literally looked like I had a baseball in it, just inside my cheek. But I was sitting there dressed, ready to go to the airport. The doctor walked in and he looked at me and he said, "You're not going anywhere." Turns out I had gotten a staph infection, and there was a lot of infection in my face, and so they had to actually put me under for another surgery to remove all that infection, and I had to stay in the hospital for I believe it was another 10 days for IV antibiotics. So, like I said, it did give movement to my mouth, but not to my eye. Basically kind of stops around the ear area. So, now I am actually considering having a surgery on my eye because, number one, this lump, it really does bother me. I'm not gonna lie, but I haven't really gotten too serious about thinking of surgery yet until probably the past year or so because, guys, my eye hurts all the time. It waters and it's just, I'm always in a lot of pain. Well, not constant pain, but just it'll get things in it because I can't blink, and it'll get irritated and red and watery, and it just hurts, and it gets even more puffy. And basically, I've noticed too that the lower lid is kind of drooping, and so there's a lot more space from the bottom of my eye, and basically I just kind of want them to, I guess, lift it back up a little bit and close up some of that space so that I don't get as much stuff in my eye, and basically for a little more of a symmetrical look. So I think that was about it as far as the getting to know me. Now, the second thing I wanted to talk about is bullying. Wow. And this can get emotional for me, so I'm gonna hope that I can get all the way through it. If you're seeing this, I probably got all the way through it without going crazy, but basically, I remember being bullied from the time I was in elementary school through a little bit of high school. High school, not so much, but it was more to that point to where it was like I was just ignored. You know, I was labeled as the weird girl with the weird face from the time I was young and grew up with these same people. So, yeah, that's just what I had to deal with growing up. So I had very severe self-esteem issues. And, you know, I remember times just like crying and being like, why? Why me? Why do I have to have this facial paralysis? This is not common. This is so rare. Why? And I was just, I would get angry at myself, at other people, just angry, and I felt ugly and worthless, and, you know, a lot of times I would just look in the mirror and I would just say, I hate you. And all of this was because of bullying. You know, I handle it much better now as an adult, which I don't have a lot of bullying now as an adult. People that say things about it, mostly, you know, they're not saying things about it to be mean. And I've actually only had one just mean comment here on YouTube, so I was actually kind of surprised about that because I had prepared myself to get a lot more. So, like I said, only one, but as an adult, you know, people have more questions about it, which I'm fine with. I kind of have gotten more comfortable talking about it. Now, like I said, the bullying really just took a major toll on me. And guys, my parents were great. They constantly, you know, told me, oh, we love you, you're beautiful. When I would cry about it, they would say, there's nothing wrong with you, you're beautiful, you're beautiful, you're beautiful. And I guess in my mind, I was thinking, well, they're my parents, and they have to love me because they're my parents, and it's kind of like that thing where, you know, every parent is like, oh, my baby is the most beautiful baby in the world, and some people can look at that baby and be like, I don't see it. But you guys know what I'm talking about. But anyways, yeah, so, but that was just, I think more just being immature. I really cared way too much about what other people thought. But it was also just hard and lonely. I didn't have a lot of friends because I was just, I was too shy to even talk to people. I just felt like, you know, like I said, like I was worthless. So anyways, moving on learning to love myself. So I actually worked as a counselor in the summers from the age of 16 to probably either like 20 or 21. Now, this helped a lot with my self-confidence, and you know, it was just this totally different environment. And I would have these little girls that would look up to me, and they thought I was great. They didn't care what my face looked like. And that was kind of the first time where someone other than a very close friend or family made me feel like they liked me for me. So that was just very eye-opening. And Also, when I graduated high school and went to college, I just started gaining more and more self-esteem. People were just treated me like a person, not like an outcast. And so I started to kind of talk more and make some more friends. I actually started dating, which was crazy because, you know, no guy in high school is gonna go out with the, you know, the weird girl. But I wasn't that weird girl anymore once I left high school. It was just crazy. You know, work, college, I was like, I'm being treated like a totally different person, and I was loving it, guys. And one thing I forgot to mention in the camp, my very first year working there, I was still very, very shy, would not talk much, very self-conscious about my face. You know, it was just still very raw at that point. I remember having a meeting with some other camp counselors. We would always meet after the campers went to bed. And one of the counselors said that one of her girls said, you know, what's wrong with Miss Lauren's face? And she said, well, I think she told her, you know, that I had a facial paralysis or whatever, and that I had recently had surgery, I guess, to fix it. And she said that that little girl looked at her and said, why did she have surgery? I think she's beautiful just like she is. And it still checks me up a little bit. But I remember sitting there and I started crying right there. I mean, just bawling. And I felt so bad because the girl was like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make you cry. And I was like, no, I'm crying because I feel so good. Like, you don't know how much that touched me to hear that. So, yeah, that's just one very vivid memory for me. Anyways, moving on, because this is getting really long. Like I said, I've been dating a lot of guys. Guys are coming after me. I actually had 2 dates on one Valentine's Day. I had a Valentine's dinner date, and then another guy was like, hey, you want to go? And I said, I've already got a date. And he's like, oh, well, can you maybe do lunch? And I said, sure. So, yeah, that was just totally new for me. But I broke up with most of them fairly quickly just because, I don't know, we didn't click, basically. Or I didn't feel that their personality was right for me. So then I met my husband, Jason. And guys, he made me feel beautiful from day one. He would flirt with me. He would, you know, just be out of his way to be nice. So that was really fun. And then, you know, once we started dating, he made it known that he thought I was beautiful. And we didn't have like any big discussion about my face, but we talked about it, and he said, you know, well, it doesn't bother me. And still to this day, after 9 years of marriage and 4 years of being together before that, he still tells me I'm beautiful constantly. So that has just been very life-changing, and I've really had to work hard to, you know, learn to love myself, if that makes sense. It's just, the bullying brought me down so much. Anyways, and like I said, my husband he's never once made a negative remark about my paralysis. And guys, I feel bad for him sometimes. I really do. Like I was telling you with the irritation, my eye, obviously it always has this lump, but it swells up and it gets red. The whole inside is red, and it literally looks like I've been punched in the face. And, you know, I've actually had people tell me stuff like, you don't have to take that, you can get help. And it makes me feel so bad for him, because he doesn't deserve to be judged that way. He's never laid a finger on me, and these people are sitting here judging him just because of the way I look. That makes me feel bad. He's never mentioned it, but I don't know. If it was me, it would bother me. But I'm just very grateful for him, basically. So yeah, basically that was it, guys. I'm so sorry that it was so long. Bullying is a very, very serious issue, and I've personally seen how it can ruin somebody's life, and I was lucky enough to come out of that. But you know, there's people that are committing suicide because of bullying, guys, and it's just so sad. So basically, what I want you to take away from this is getting to know me a little bit more, and that know that no matter what you look like, you are special. You know, it's all about just being, to me, it's all about being a good person. Other people may not see it that way, and that's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that we are judged by our looks. But, you know, if you're experiencing bullying and depression, you know, having thoughts of hurting yourself, please reach out to somebody. Feel free to email me, message me, whatever. I want to be here basically to help other people, and you know, that's why I started with the TTC, because it was so, because I know how it feels, and so even though this is mainly a TTC channel, I did want to put this out there because I want to be able to help somebody if they need help. Yeah, but everybody's important, doesn't matter how they look. If you have any questions for me, let me know, because I would be more than happy to answer. If it's about my paralysis, I'm not embarrassed to talk about it, so if you have a question, you know, just ask. If you have something that you want to just ask me privately, you can email me at bamatiki@gmail.com, and if you just need someone to talk to, you can email me too. So, gosh, I am so sorry that this was so long, guys. But anyways, I am gonna wrap it up, and I will be back to the TTC videos. Keep an eye out for that. Actually, just subscribe, and you won't have to keep an eye out. It'll just notify you when the next video is up. But I'm going to be doing a video series on charting. So that should be very interesting. One is going to be just an overview, and then the rest are going to be like in-depth details about different aspects of charting. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that. Give this video a thumbs up. If you know somebody that is going through bullying, having a hard time, share this video with them. I hope it helps. Anyways, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.